Welcome to Diamonds and Rust. I'm your host, the Stray Cat. Remember when video stores were on every corner? Well, I do. And for those of you that do, you'll remember how oftentimes the cover art was just as memorable as the film itself. They could take the most unorganized, low-budget disaster of a film and make it seem like something that's going to forever change the way you view movies. Of course, making the disappointment that much greater. Perhaps the best example of this was the 1985 horror sci-fi film, Future Kill. How a film of this caliber ever got someone like H.R. Giger to do the cover art, I'll never know. This was Giger's rendition of Splatter, the film's antagonist, like a cross between the Terminator and Wes from The Road Warrior. This is the film's rendition of Splatter. It's like a Kmart Halloween costume of the Terminator / Wes. And I think I'm being kind in saying that. The rest of the cast looks like discount versions of the gang from Class of 1984 and other various punk rock dystopian feature films of the era. So visually it's pretty generic, but what about the film itself? Let's find out. The opening credits have the look and sound of an Atari 2600 game. We get shots of the city setting up the urban scenery for the film. Right away we meet Splatter, and the disappointment begins. Splatter is a victim of radiation poisoning, and is a key member of an anti-nuclear movement. The movement is apparently non-violent, though Splatter is not.
I'm the leader of a non-violent movement, and you're a violent person.
He is played by Edwin Neal, who's most famous for playing the hitchhiker in the original 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Despite my criticisms towards the bad costume, I can honestly say that he's pretty unrecognizable in this role. The film then changes tone drastically as we cut to a frat party. We see a rival frat house go to the party to apologize for a prank involving the president's car.
And I do appreciate your ordering me the new vet. Maybe I can get one in a better color than the one Daddy sent me.
But President Imitation Niedermeyer isn't quick to forgive.
I've also personally seen to it that you're invited to the Tridel party tomorrow night, and that you get to wear these.
Naturally, this pisses them off, so to retaliate, they tar and feather Niedermeyer. One of the members, Steve, leaves the rest of them to deal with the rival fraternity, establishing that he's the film's resident asshole.
Oh, shit! God damn it!
Steve tries to make it up to the rest of them by treating them to a hooker.
We're drumming you out of the fraternity. Nothing you could do, nothing you could possibly say would make up for them.
Hi, boys.
Well, that's a good start. Somehow, after the lights are off, the sexy hooker is replaced with this woman.
What's the matter, boys? How do you like these egg rolls?
Don't act so repulsed. I had to see this scene uncensored. As punishment for the tar and feathering, the frats are told they have to kidnap one of the punk rock protesters known as mutants.
You guys have the distinct pleasure of going downtown to kidnap the freak of my choice.
Now what could possibly go wrong with 6 suburban frat boys kidnapping a member of an inner city gang? They choose a mutant that they want, who happens to be the gang's leader, but as expected, the kidnapping goes seriously wrong.
Call help! Get this down!
Up on this side.
After Splatter kills one of the frats, he kills the mutant, who earlier chastised him for being too violent, and blames it all on the frats.
They've killed Payne. Find them.
Next we meet Dorothy, who we find out was Splatter's former girlfriend.
It's hard to believe, but we once meant to each other.
Dorothy is played by Marilyn Burns, who played Sally in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A couple of hookers spot Splatter and discuss what sex with him would be like.
Bet that guy's got a heart on 8 hours a day. Might be fun to find out.
One of them decides to find out. However, she changes her mind after she sees his toxic dick.
What's the matter, bitch? Don't you like what modern man can do for his brothers with a little misplaced nuclear energy? You'll find enough to put your mouth on. Get started! I haven't had...
Two of the frats rescue a mutant from a couple of dirty cops.
Right up against the wall, asshole.
Hey, what are you doing?
Don't jerk us around. What are you doing around?
But she turns out to be an ungrateful bitch.
Look, I didn't ask you to come to my rescue. I can take care of myself.
She decides to help them anyway, but not without a lot of self-righteous banter.
How many of us do you know?
Just you.
Then don't be so quick to condemn. We have feelings and dreams, too.
That seems to go back and forth and does nothing for the plot. The other three frats come across a group of mutants who recognize them, and a chase ensues.
Don't kill him. Splatter wants him alive.
Julie explains Splatter's origins, and why he isn't really a member.
He came here a few years ago, a victim of radiation poisoning. He's not really one of us, though.
Why is that?
He's violent.
These mutants seem pretty fucking violent to me. The other three frats are again chased by some of the violent/non-violent mutants. We get some more fighting. Then Julie and the other two find them.
Even the others have got
Splatter interrogates one of Julie's friends in a very suggestive way.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Well, we know we can't rape her. Julie takes the five of them to a club, and they all seem to forget that they have a psychotic mutant trying to kill them. Splatter shows up, and we get another chase. Julie takes them to see a friend that can help them. They go to an abandoned building that turns out to be Splatter's lair.
Splatter lives here now.
You brought us here. Hold it.
Dorothy shows up, and they devise a plan to trap and kill Splatter.
He'll be here in a few minutes. I've set some traps for him, so be careful.
If you've got traps, then why do you need us?
Bait. If he's mad enough, maybe I can catch him off guard.
That's bullshit.
They split up, of course. They always do in these kind of films. And Splatter kills one of them and captures the rest of them.
Drop your weapons.
He activates the radiation chamber that is still somehow active. But Dorothy intervenes and Splatter is pushed into the chamber. They go outside feeling safe now that Splatter's dead, but one of his henchmen turns out to still be alive. This would have made a lot more sense if it had been Splatter instead of some goon whose name I don't even know. Well, that was Future Kill. Was its delivery as bad as its visuals? Yes. It was Bush League from start to finish. The acting, direction, and story were mediocre at best, and the film as a whole was pretty forgettable. My verdict is rust. Well, until next time, I'm the Stray Cat, and this was Diamonds and Rust.